What's going on, everybody? Slow Stacker here, coming at you with another video. This one is part of the Stacking is Life series. Not so much like knife collecting, but more like different types of knives that are probably good to have, their different uses and things like that. We'll just hop right into this. I got, I threw this one in because this is your typical little pocket Swiss Army keychain knife. It's got tons of functions, a little blade. You can use it for all kinds of goodies. There's got a fingernail file on here if you really want to do that. You can even use that as a flathead screwdriver, and a pair of scissors on here. These are, it's not a horrible thing to have, and they're super lightweight. Comes with a pair of tweezers on the side here, and then a toothpick. Don't recommend sharing. But anyway, you could pick these up for like 10, maybe less. And they're not bad to have. And they're super lightweight. You can throw them in somewhere, and in a pinch it might do some good. So there's that. The next one I have here, kind of along the similar lines, is a little Gerber knife. It locks back. It's meant to carry in a pocket, and it's not bad to have. But you're not going to do much with this other than like opening letters or something like that. So, these size knives, that's pretty much all they're good for. I'm sure you could find other uses for them, but in a prepping or in a self-defense situation, these aren't going to do you a whole lot of good in the self-defense situation. One of the most fantastic knives ever made is the Buck 110. It was made in 1963, and it's one of America's best-selling knives. They run around $50, and they don't have the thumb grip on there. I added that on for a one-handed operation. But what's cool is it comes with a leather pouch, and they're just genuinely great knives. It's not the easiest thing to open, but and this one's seen tons of use. I got this from my grandpa. But anyway, they're not horrible, and they're pretty looking knives, and they're sturdy. When they designed them, they looked for like best practices to keep it more like a fixed blade, but not take up that much space. And they succeeded after a couple of different iterations. But this goes nicely on your belt, and for $50 you can't beat this knife, and it's great for all kinds of purposes. The Buck 110. And then this is kind of like the precursor to your typical pocket knife that we see today, something like this, where you have the pocket clip on it, and the single hand operation, where it's just a solid knife. It's got jimping on here for if you need to get into something and really push in. SOG makes a great knife. They quality control their blades by shooting a bullet at them, and so that's a good thing. This is my everyday carry knife. I carry this all the time. One thing to look for when you're looking for an everyday carry knife is to see if the clip is reversible. This one is it's just a simple Allen key. You can unscrew it, flip the clip to the other side, and that way you can carry this in either pocket with correct orientation. So this one's set up for a left-handed pocket because I keep it in my left pocket. I like to keep my gun hand free. So a good quality pocket knife doesn't cost a whole lot of money. This one's probably like $50 to $75. And I've had like 3 or 4 of these. That's a good one. Before that, this is a Schrager Old Timer, also known as the Sharp Finger. This knife was big in the hunting community. It's like a $20 knife. It's got a full tang, which is really good, and it's got decent handles on there. But you can use this knife for skinning and all of that. But more than that, this knife also, this is the model number here, the 1520T Schrade Old Timer. More than skinning, this knife was used by a lot of bikers, and they use these because they're a small fixed blade. They use these to carry and do their biker things. So there's that. Now getting into some older knives, but the larger fixed blade knives that I have. I'm going to start with the World War II. This is a Mark II, World War II Mark II, U.S. Navy Mark II K-bar. However, this one does not have the markings on the blade, and I'm not sure why, but I do know that this is the World War II era knife. My grandpa carried this in World War II when he was in the Army, and so I was lucky enough to end up with it and the scabbard here. Full-size knife, got the clip point. The top is sharpened a little bit for ease of use, but this knife, K-bar used to use a larger, the larger bar stock when they made their knives, which made their knife a little heavier and then also more reliable. So that's a good thing. So this was your typical World War II issued knife. The way you can tell if it's World War II or not, there are a couple of things you can look for. The newer knives have like a black plastic spacer here at the guard where the leather meets the guard, and then at the pommel where the leather meets the pommel there'll be a black plastic spacer. So if it's full leather, then you're most likely looking at a World War II issue. The other issue, some of them later issued were pinned, some of them were not. This one happens to be pinned, which is interesting. And I'm not totally sure why the blade doesn't say Mark II or U.S. Navy or any of that, or K-bar for that matter. However, I do know that this is genuine because my grandpa told me so, and I believe him. So next up, this is an Ontario knife. The model is the 691. This is more of your Vietnam era. I don't know if these were carried in Korea. It's possible that they were. I found this at my local surplus store. This was not made, I think this was made just after Vietnam. I can't remember. I know I looked it up and found that obviously it wasn't issued, but when you look up the model number Ontario 691, it tells you that it was made just after we got out of Vietnam. However, it's exactly the same workmanship. It's exactly the same as they would be. The sheath is exactly the same, and it also has their sharpening stone by Norton Pike. Kind of cool. I like them. I like this knife a lot. The nice thing is it's small. It's lightweight compared to the Mark II. Actually, it's a little heavier than the Mark II. But the size of it made it made it more likable for like our rangers in NOM and the long range patrol guys. So all of those aside, this is what I have for fun. So I take this with me in a bag at work. Don't tell my employer. But I have this, and I've used it a couple of times. But this is the Gerber LMF2. And I think they market this as a fighting knife more than a survival knife. However, there are survival models of this. I think Bear Grylls had one with the orange handle. The idea being, with these holes here and here and here on the pommel, that you could tie this to a stick, therefore making a spear. It's possible. So you could do that. The thing about this knife that I think makes it less superior than these is this rubber grip on it. You can see it wears. If you were using this in a situation where you needed to hammer on the blade or something like that, which I have done, and you accidentally hit part of the handle, you're going to mess the handle up. I think this is more susceptible to deteriorating over time, over use. But it comes with this sheath. It has a sharpening stone built in, so you can sharpen the blade. All you do is pass it through the sheath, and it's a no-fool way to sharpen the blade, which is cool. It also is, the sheath is very well made where the knife won't come out. You saw how hard it was for me to get it out. But then also it has these double clips on here, and that makes it jumpable. Jumpable means that if you're in the military, it needs redundancy to keep it in. So it's got 2 and 2 and 1, 2 to attach it to your gear. So it's not going to come out. It's a requirement, and this one meets the requirement. So I just like it when it snaps in. So those are some of my knives. I have a couple other ones. I have this one. This is a Colorado River Cutlery Company, CRKT. I think that's right. I can't remember. CRKT, Cricket. Minimalist. And I wear this around my neck sometimes. The idea being, if somebody tried to take something from me and it warranted it, I could put this in their eye or something like that. I don't mess around. Slow stacker don't mess around. So I've got that, and then this is a Scallywag Tactical. I can't remember what the name of this one was. 440 stainless steel, and they made the knife in China, and then sharpened and did all of that here. I'll have to look it up and see. But anyway, Scallywag Tactical makes some really cool knives, and this one was like $30, so I went ahead and supported the local business. I like the way it feels. It also came with a sheath to go around your neck. I added the cording and the wrap. But anyway, those are some of the knives that I have. They're definitely not all of the knives. I have some other knives put away. Some of the other knives that I have are in bags and things like that, so it'd be a big hassle to get them all out. This has been almost a 15-minute video talking about knives. Shout out to Pot of Jam for giving me the idea. But if you're looking for a knife that's going to help you in a SHTF situation, you don't have to spend a ton of money. I think I got this for $45. They sell for like around $50. The Sharp Finger you can get at Walmart for $20. So those are two good bargain knives. Like I said, the Buck 110 is around $50. And then a $75 pocket knife is not a bad thing to have. Now here's the thing, you're talking about layering. So this one's already in your pocket. So you already have this knife. And then you have your go bag, and you maybe have a couple of knives in your go bag. And then you have a belt maybe with your exposed carried pistol, and you decide you're going to throw a buck knife on there, and you've got a Leatherman in your go bag. And then you have your maybe you have some load bearing gear where you carry magazines and things like that, and it's got a MOLLE attachment, so you can affix a knife to that. And now you're carrying a bunch of knives, and who knows why. But anyway, I digress. This is Slow Stacker. If you like this video, please leave me a comment, subscribe, hit that like button. I appreciate it. Hit the bell. I do live streams every once in a while, and it'd be great to see you guys on. It's also Thanksgiving. I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving, and don't fight with your families. If you're watching this, you probably already fought, and you're in the other room because you don't want to talk to them. But go back out there, say you're sorry, give them a hug, and eat some more turkey. Slow Stacker, I am stacking it slow. I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.